Beetlejuice. Welcome to another edition of the CWA. As we are, here is the card. We're ready to go for episode 21 here. As I see the fucking, this is all cut off. Let's fix that. There we go. Perfect. As there is the card. As you see, we're not even gonna try to hide or nothing. As it's the fallout of Heart Attack. As we have new champions. We have almost 3 out of our 4 new champions. Obviously, with Pac keeping his title. As without further ado, let's start the show. As in pre-show, we have 2 pre-show matchups. As first one, Dark Order, England's Calling. That got a 10. Goes 10:01 when Stu Grayson pinned Joel Redmond with a corkscrew senton. As yes, Stu Grayson, Martin Stone. Martin Stone's great. He's just kind of stuck, and Joel Redmond's kind of lackey, more or less. But you got a 42. The match as a whole. Evil Uno 34. I feel like Evil Uno's gotten better, or I'm just slowly losing it. As I got a 42, that we'll take that. Obviously, I think with the pop caps, I don't think this would have gotten that if this was on the main show, but still not a bad match. Allie, Chris Statlander, poor Chris Statlander. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Her in-ring performance, that was a 25. She's obviously a lot better than that. As Allie wins with the sit-off facebuster 936, as Allie with 34. And that is the segment rating. So that's pretty on brand. So not bad pre-show matches. It could have been worse. As of this was the recap of Heart Attacks. Obviously, you're seeing Brian over Brock, Sasha over Trish, Miz and Morrison falling in the 2 out of 3 falls match of the Bucks. Just stuff like that. And then the actual Stampede TV intro. So a lot of angles here. And so we start off with Bret Hart presenting the CWA Canadian Heavyweight title to Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Bret says he's so proud to have someone be the best technical wrestler in the world hold the Canadian Heavyweight title. This championship means so much to him, and it means so much to see Bryan really carrying on not only really his legacy, but really the legacy of pure wrestling, technical wrestling, and to have him be the one to beat Brock, it really put a smile on his face. And to see Bryan now as the champion, well, he's interested to see how he does moving forward as well. And really putting over Bryan there. Really, Bryan doesn't really have to say anything. Bret does really all the talking for that. As that's just kind of like the new, side plates with Bryan, like a fucking American Dragon and stuff like that on the side plates. But I got a 72. That actually did a lot better than I assumed it would. But we'll take that's a hell of a way to open up the show. See, I didn't hit the next segment. There we go. As the opener, it's TK Cooper and Noam Dar. Want to give Noam Dar a bit of a nice win there after losing in his debut with the Champagne Super Knee Bar in 7:37. TK Cooper with a grade 3 quadricep strain. That is not good. As I figured Noam Dar, he's just barely out of the. He's almost into the recognizable stage. I think that's what's next. I think it's unimportant and recognizable. He's just barely out of that range. I think you have to be over 26 pop to get in that range. And I think he's at 25 or 20, maybe, somewhere around there. He is definitely in the yellow for sure. He's just barely out of it. We just need to get him up a little higher, and he'll be good. But 50 overall on the his performance. That's great. TK Cooper, though, 44 with a grade 3 quadricep strain. That stuff, he's really our kind of main go-to jobber, thanks to him being a piece of shit. Thanks, Dean Malenko. Oh, yes. We didn't even talk about Dean Malenko getting signed. So, Lance Storm, he's a freelancer. He was listed as a freelancer in this kind of mod. Even though obviously this is not a real thing, I could have just went in and edited it, but I didn't want to. So we went with Dean Malenko as the replacement. I feel like it was a great idea, nonetheless. As sustain a grade 3 quadricep strain. That is tough. As the boss champion, Sasha Banks making her elaborate champion entrance, really playing to the crowd and playing towards really just the pomp and circumstance of it all. As she he's like, that old hag, Trish, she's gone. She's out of here. The new champ, the boss, Sasha Banks. I'm the champion now. I'll take on fucking anybody. I don't care. You're just a real, not give a fuck attitude. Like, she couldn't care less about anybody in the CWA who thinks she can, is at her level. And she did a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd as well. I got a 71. Yeah, Sasha's great. That's no surprise there. And Natty, Natalia wants a piece of the boss. She wants the boss. Gets a loud pop. And Natty, says, so I kicked fucking TJ's ass. Now I'm on to bigger and better things. That's the CWA Canadian women's title, you got it. Your ass is mine. So now we got a match set up, at least even this so early on after Sasha's her first defense. Looks like it's Natalia Neidhart. That's a hell of a match. That's a hell of a match. I can get behind that. The angle, everything's working. Everything's coming together. Besides that lineup, this does really well. I figured Naomichi Marufuji would do his thing, but Nakajima's a 51 as well. So we have Naomichi Marufuji versus Kazuchika Nakajima. Sure, this is the main event in Japan, but here in the CWA, this is like the second match on the card. As Marufuji wins with the double underside power slam in 10-20. Marufuji with a 63, Nakajima with a 51. Great job there. So that's a 63 as Kenta and Marufuji, they do a stare down. Obviously, the history there. As you see, my dyslexia, I put the F of the O in the wrong spot. As they have a stare down and then Access attacks Marufuji from behind, lay him out. As that's just a little simple little subtlety to build up to it. And we'll probably have Marufuji in either Go next week, or we'll have Marufuji in mystery partner against Nakajima and Go. Because maybe even a 6-man too. We maybe have Marufuji in a tag team to take on Access. That's probably even better. To at least have Kenta get involved. So we'll pencil that for next week. And I got a 40 though. As this, so this is a backstage interview for the Bucks. Renee Young, new champ, says Renee is saying that we're here with the new CWA Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks and Matt Jackson. As you guys put on a hell of a display, Matt, after was coming, your injury, and Nick with your singles match and the ladder match last month to now at Heart Attack, you guys finally got your chance to take on Miz and Morrison for the belts. You guys won. Just kind of how you're feeling. What's next for the Young Bucks here in the CWA? As right before they even talk, fucking Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, they slide on them. Hey, congratulations, boys. Finally we got rid of those dickheads, Miz and Morrison. Now we're gonna see who's the best tag team in the world. Young Bucks, Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn. Then, before they could even finish, even more, with the Young Bucks having a response to that, Miz and Morrison come from the other side. It's just turned into a clusterfuck now of an interview. As Miz and Morrison, they go, hold on here. Listen, we lost in 2 out of 3 falls match. We won the first fall. We beat you guys first fall. We had you. If this was a regular match, we would have had another title defense for our hands. You two, I don't know if you two are going to team up or you're going to fight each other. We don't know. Last time you guys teamed up against, us, it didn't go so well for you, Sammy. And then for us, we are the number 1 contenders for the tag titles. We deserve our rematch. It's in our contract. So, Renee, keep your questions to yourself. They know they're facing. They're facing us. And it's a clusterfuck. We don't really get a full answer, but that's a lot of green, a little bit of red, as Nick and Miz couldn't really follow the script that well. We figured it'd do well. A lot of people improvised really well in the script. But that got a 66. Our angles are going really well besides the Marufuji Kenta stuff. But I figured so. They're not really over. As far as Kenta's not really over yet. As this is just a fallout from Heart Attack. So this was after Heart Attack. A little behind the scenes footage of Dark Order here. Basically, this bit, you could say this is just I love what Brody King's doing on being the Elite with the fucking Dark Order. Just what John Silver and John Silver's a comedy genius. He's always been a funny fucking guy. To have that type of outlet for him to be creative like that, it's so great for him. And just Brock is just fucking pissed, like that type of level. But it was just screaming, yelling, throwing shit, just yelling at Father James Mitchell, like, what the fuck are you doing with these 2 assholes here? We got this guy in a mask, we got this guy with his dumbass face paint. What the fuck do they do? The only guy who's even decent around here is Brody fucking King over there. Like, somebody get me some goddamn help. The Dark Order, this is such bullshit, Father James Mitchell. You brought me into this bullshit, and now you're gonna fix this bullshit. I want my belt back. And Father James is just like, calm down, Brock, calm down. Just trying everything to kind of diffuse the situation. He says, I'll take care of it, type of thing. And Brock just fucking is uber pissed. He's uber pissed. He's gonna have to get a hold of himself. Luckily, this was, nobody was hurt in this segment, as Yeah, advanced segment lost heat. Yeah, the Dark Order segment, it definitely has lost heat for sure. Definitely, after Brock's lost the belt, we gotta need him to do something. Plus, he needs somebody else too. We need more people in the Dark Order too. So poor Brody King. As now we have to end out the show. We got Pac's open challenge. Pac, as man, probably one of the highlights of the series so far has been Pac's open challenge. I mean, he's had some great matches, and this one no different. As Josh Alexander, what a big spot for him to be in the main event against Pac. As Josh Alexander takes the fall though. Still, it's a bit back and forth. 13 minutes. That's pretty great for Pac to just let him have a 13-minute match with him. Gives Josh Alexander just kind of the size and the power of Josh, doing a lot of cool shit. But Pac eventually just the veteranness and the speed and just everything, just really the skills too at the end, just come out to help him out, and he gets to win the Black Arrow in 13:23. That's defense number 7 of his CWA British Commonwealth title. Who will be the one to stop Pac in his British Commonwealth Openweight challenge? That was a 65. That was a great fucking show. Oh, wow, I didn't even know that happened. That's weird. As our live event experience level is slightly worse, so we're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to change the British. Hopefully, we gotta do something. We gotta just increase a lot of different shit. But we'll take a 64 show rating for the TV show. We increased our prop in 12 regions, lost in 11. But it is what it is. We're just kind of floating at this point. I would say we're just kind of floating around, just trying to survive. As that will do it for this episode of CWA Rural Draft Series here as a Stampede as well. We have a 0-1 Hall of Famer beside the top. That's kind of weird. That's a fun thing that they let him have that. As man, oh man, Terry Funk leaves the business. Gabe Sapolsky's retiring. Who extended? Oh, signed fucking Ray Phoenix. How fun. Another man to enter the CWA. Also, Candace is signed. How fun. A lot of people going on. TK Cooper, we gotta check his injury out. Yeah, Brian Danielson putting over Noam Dar. Oh, I see. They changed it right. I don't think that was there before. I think they changed that right when we were doing our show. That kind of fucking sucks, but we'll change that and whatnot as let's see. Well, then we'll do that off screen. That's no big deal. So thank you all for watching again, as we will catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.